What's one single activity that an agent can do over the next several months that you believe will drastically impact the amount of income that they earn?
So I would say that it's just talking to prospects. I mean, that sounds so cheesy, but it's to get around that core principle. And it doesn't even always mean new leads. If let's say that you've had some pretty good success, let's just say in final expense or selling Medicare supplements, and you've got, I don't care if it's modest, 50 or 75 customers on the books. I challenge you in the midst of your week as you're booking new appointments to engage with those current customers, because that's really going to open doors. It's going to further establish your relationship. And especially if you do Medicare, people love to refer in Medicare particularly. So just constantly, if you have a down day, maybe your lead flow was delayed, or maybe you had something come up, every single day be talking to prospects, and that can even mean your current customer base. So if you've got a few hours of downtime, pull out that CRM or pull out your Excel spreadsheet and just call Betty and call Joe and just ask them how everything's going. It's AEP. It's going to open doors for you. The more people you talk to should be the funnest part of the business too. If you enjoy this business, talking to people is what's going to continue to help you grow.
So your go-to is Betty for you as well.
Yeah. Is that yours too?
Dude, my team, it's so much that my team made T-shirts to say hello, Betty.
Mine is Joe.
That's good. What do you think it is for you, Ethan, as far as that big activity, man?
Expose yourself. Just like Kenny said, I mean, we're both big on that. I can still to this day remember that very first door that I knocked on. I mean, I'm sitting there just shaking like this. And in fact, I think they even booted me out. I'm not sure I even made it there 30 seconds. But the only way to get better and to make sales is to continue knocking on those doors or continue booking those appointments and just getting that activity level up higher. At our last organization, it was, I think it was book 18 appointments a week to see 10. That was the goal. And we still follow that. We do not get away from that. We see at a minimum 10 people a week. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to still be able to see 10 people. I don't think you're necessarily going to be able to see more and more, but your closing rate is going to go higher and higher. Okay, so that's what we do. We still see the exact same number of people every single week. It's just our closing ratio has gotten a lot higher because we've gotten a lot more comfortable because we were exposed to a lot more people.
That's good. I always teach the set, sit, sell, and I remember my first year I always sat with 10 every week, man, and it's amazing what happens when you get to that number consistently. A lot of good things start to happen.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you shared that. That makes a ton of sense. All right, last question. Before we get to how they can follow you guys and everything else, what's one thing, a moment, and I'm going to delay a little so you can think about this because I'm putting you on the spot. What's one moment that you can look back over the 29 years of your existence and be like, that one moment really impacted my life? And I can look back on that moment and say, you know what? Something shifted in me that day, and I am who I am because of that single moment.
So, I mean, this is just in life in general, doesn't necessarily have to directly relate to our insurance career, or would you say?
Yeah, it does not have to. No. Yeah, that's a tough question too. So
I think I've got mine. Mine's going to be a little cheesy, but I was in college. I had a pretty unique opportunity in college. I had this job that at the time I was just like, God, this thing is terrible. But looking back, I had some pretty awesome mentors. And I always talk about mentors and trying to get with the right people. My boss was actually from that college job was actually my best man in my wedding. And he's really gone through the entire, since I was 18 all the way up until now, which there's been a lot of room for growth and improvement. But I was sitting down with him and his boss, and I'm, 19 years old, don't care about this job, don't care about the two guys I'm in front of. I'm here to make my paycheck so I can go home and hit the next party, And I sat down with them, and the boss was sitting there going, Ethan, you're extremely frustrating for a lot of people here. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. Good way to start. And he goes, but I want it to be a compliment. And he goes, what I mean by that is you're very influential. People listen to you when you talk. and you just got to say the right things, and you're always saying stupid stuff. So stop, maybe shift that mindset to know that every time you open your mouth, people are listening. And so what you need to do is shift that mindset, shift what you're saying into more important and influential things, and you're going to be taken, out of this world as far as being able to help people out. So I really took that and will try to take that and run with it. And I really didn't, I've been trying to implement it in all aspects of my life, but really with this whole YouTube thing and insurance thing, it's really taken off. People are listening to us, and people want to know, why we're saying the things we're saying and how to do what we're saying and things like that. So really that little sentence, and the guy that told me that probably doesn't even remember it.
What was his name?
Bill Leslie, and he was last I heard. But anyway, yeah. So that's just that little thing that they told me, 11 years ago. Ethan, say the right thing. Shut up. You're influential, and people will listen and want to do what you say.
How many times have you ever told that story on video?
Never told anybody that video.
Dude, that I got goosebumps listening to that. Like those are the moments that someone is like molding and shifting and making you think different than, because you probably didn't realize you were so influential with the way you spoke. Well, you're a natural salesperson. You said it. Well, that makes perfect sense now. But dude, I totally get that. And you listen to super successful people. They had these people in their life previously, teachers, whatever, that like instilled that confidence in them and shared something with them. And man. Steve Harvey always tells a story. I love it. How he talks about how this was a negative impact that challenged him, but he had a teacher that made fun of him when he said he wanted to be a TV host or comedian or whatever he said. And now he shifts. He mails her a TV every year at Christmas, so that he makes sure she sees him on TV. And I'm like, I love that, man. That's good. You got to be, that's an origin story, by the way, that I'm not saying you got to share it on every video, but when you get a chance to like speak or that, I'm telling you, what you just said has to be in your story in some way, because it was really good. Powerful. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. It's good.
I never heard that story, so that was good.
Wow. Random.
Yep. You're pulling the goods out from us.
Good, man.
Guess it's early in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. How about you, Kenny? Did you come up with one yet?
Yeah, mine's even cheesier, but it's the truth. I've got 2 young kids. I've got a little boy that's 2.5 years old, and my daughter's a little over 1. So my wife and I had them back to back. We weren't with our first son. We weren't expecting. We weren't trying. It happened. God gave us that gift, I suppose. And I would just say in the first few months of my son's life, I really learned I was forced to learn that if you live for other people and you put other people at the center of your life, instead of putting yourself at the center of your life, like I had done for 27 years prior to the day, when my son was born, life gets a whole lot better, right? Like once you're more worried about people around you that you love and care about or encounter, and you stop just being so self-centered, life becomes more beautiful. Whether you add money, don't add money, rough times, good times, you can weather all of that stuff once you put other people at the forefront of your life. So it's cheesy, but that's really been the pivotal moment in my life. So
that's good, dude. That's what you guys are doing and living every single day. It's strong. People, it can be easy, especially me. Like, and it sounds like Ethan and I are a ton alike. I've struggled with some of that in the past, and I get it, I get it. But being able to realize that and put other people first, when before we shoot a video, we ask ourselves, and I'm sure you guys do too, how can we help the person on the other end of the screen? And when you take that type of mentality and you think like that, it's not self-serving. It's more about helping others. But you guys seem to do that really, really well. If you love this video, I got another one that you're gonna love. I got a video just to your right here. Click on that. It's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love it, and I'll see you in there.
Yeah, my exact thing is, if you're not running 30 appointments a week.
Yeah, you don't relate to a dollar
part-time.
amount. You relate it to
appointments.
appointments. Yes.
Yeah, and the same thing. Again, I did this